Hey guys, Tominator here. So this'll probably be my last vid on the 2021 Mr. Olympia. In my opinion, this year was a bit of a letdown considering the talent level of the lineups, with very few of the top names delivering their best. But the new 212 champ Derek Lunsford was a pleasant exception, bringing easily his all-time best package to date and upsetting the reigning champion Shaun Clarida, who it has to be said wasn't far off his personal best from last year. He might have even been right on par, or arguably better. I'm going off memory here and can't recall off the top of my head. In any case, this was actually the most compelling division for me this year. I'm a big fan of Lunsford's physique and was eagerly awaiting the day when he finally put it all together, because structurally and from the back, he's damn near unstoppable. That said, he still left room for improvement, especially as far as the conditioning in the upper body from the front is concerned, but I think it was good enough nonetheless. I was a little surprised that the judges actually gave it to him though, because Clarida looked crazy, especially here at night in the finals. There's that old saying, you have to knock out the champ to beat him, and I don't think Derek quite did that. Edged him out maybe, but this definitely wasn't the knockout. Because usually when the champion is on his game as Shaun was here, he retains the title. Even the commentators Sean Ray and Rich Gaspari were calling it for Clarida. That's kind of what made this so engaging. It was that element of unexpectedness that was mostly missing from the other categories. So let's go ahead and break it down pose for pose and see if Derek's victory was justified. Right here in the front relaxed, they each excel in different ways. Shaun has the grainier conditioning and looks much harder upstairs, but Lunsford is so much bigger and wider. So you could give it to either of them depending on how much weight you put into these things. For me personally, I'd have to side with Clarida because that's how I think the judges would typically call it. Usually the more conditioned athlete wins when it's close, that's just how it goes. In the front double biceps though, it's tough to deny Derek with that standout vacuum and the huge full upper body. Yes, Clarida still outconditions him, but he's giving up so much size and his chest looks too small in this pose, so the proportions aren't quite as on point as they were in the front relaxed. Derek's not as dry, but he's got so much wow factor, it really draws the eye. The front lat spread is easily Lunsford. This is Shaun's worst pose, as his narrow clavicles don't allow him to expand much. Derek's lats are literally like twice as wide, and his shoulder-to-waist ratio is far greater. Clarida has the edge through the quads, but it's not enough. The side chest is also Derek, for my money. Way more mass up top, and even the legs look better from the side, especially in the glutes, where he's showing more detail. I love Clarida's roundness through the arms and delts, and the accompanying vascularity. The guy's dense as hell, but unfortunately, it's his small frame that hurts him. And if there can be any doubt, just compare the size of their chests. Enough said. The back double is really close. I wouldn't fault anyone for choosing Clarida here, since he's got tons of thick muscle, and the shoulders and biceps look phenomenal. This is no doubt the main reason for the Flex Wheeler and Ronnie Coleman comparisons, because he looks like a miniature hybrid of the two of them here. But Lunsford is just so much bigger, it's like they're not even in the same weight class. No doubt Derek did have at least 20 pounds on him, because I believe he's right at the limit, whereas Shaun is still down below the 190 mark. Aside from the width factor in the glutes though, I can't really pinpoint any area on Lunsford's physique that outright beats Clarida's. I guess maybe the forearms and the traps would also go to him. Yet the overall impression I'm getting is that Derek is winning this. It's mostly just the size disparity, I think. If Shaun was the same stature, he'd take it handily. But keep in mind, mass can be the difference maker when the gap is this glaring. So yeah, needless to say, I've got mixed feelings about this one and would love to hear your opinions on it in the comments below, because they both look mind-blowing. As for the back lat spread, there can be no doubt that Lunsford is taking this. Surprisingly, Clarida is a lot more competitive than you might imagine, given how much worse he looked in the front version, but Lunsford has the better taper. Combine that with some deeper separation around the traps and the more shredded glutes, and I don't see how they couldn't give it to him. Even his hamstrings look sharper now than Shaun's. The side tricep could go either way, but I'm sticking with Shaun, just like in prejudging. If for no other reason, then I prefer the thickness of his arms and delt here. Lunsford looks good too, and probably has the better lower body, but upstairs, he's lacking separation. He could benefit from flexing the abs more, and a more pronounced horseshoe might seal the deal, but as it is, I'm going with Clarida. Now, the ab and thigh is debatable because Lunsford has the more streamlined midsection, but Clarida has those flashy feathered quads and the thicker abdominal muscles. The only issue with Shaun is that at times he looks a little bloated. Derek has that great taper, but at the end of the day, I don't think Shaun's minor distension costs him the pose, so I'm going with the giant killer here. And for the most muscular, we're going to skip ahead now to the end where they hit multiple variations. So they flipped them around and ran them through all the mandatories again, but there's no sense in repeating myself. So here in this first shot, again I'm going with Clarida. He's smaller, but just so damn dense and grainy. Derek's structure is amazing, but he looks a little smooth through the arms and chest, although this is better than it was in prejudging. He kept getting stronger as the show went on, it seems. So I believe the head judge, Steve Weinberger, called for any pose they wanted at this point, which is why Derek's launching into a front double while Shaun's opting for the crab. It's too bad. It would have been cool to see Lunsford hit a crab of his own, but oh well, what can you do? And because Shaun can hit multiple shots effectively, I give him the advantage in the most muscular. When it was all said and done, I think this victory was well deserved. I had Derek winning 5-3 in the muscularity round. Well, that back double biceps could have potentially gone Shaun's way, which would have made it 4-4. But Lunsford was so undeniably superior frame-wise and size-wise, I don't think Clarida's minor edge in conditioning was enough to fend him off. This was truly an awesome battle, one of the better head-to-heads I've seen in recent years, with two incredible bodybuilders at the top of their game. So I hope you enjoyed this little breakdown, and if so, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more. Until the next time, this has been the Tominator signing off, and I'll be back.